Hello and welcome to another edition of Hard Copy, where we bring you the people behind the news. I'm Maokpe Ogun Yusuf. Daniel Bwala is a regular face here on Channels Television, where he's appeared on a number of our primetime programs as a legal analyst. He's a constitutional lawyer, lecturer, and a member of Lincoln's Inn, London. But now it may be trite to say he's a politician too, seeking a senatorial seat, first on the platform of the Social Democratic Party in his native Borno state, and now for the Federal Capital Territory in the ruling All Progressives Congress. He set his sights on high ground. But can he, who might be described as a political neophyte, clinch the post on one of the most hotly contested zones in the country? Daniel Bwala, welcome to Hard Copy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, let's just first of all say that it feels like as if we're going to be losing you somewhat, because it would seem that every analysis we might invite you to give now might be viewed from the prism of politics or partisan politics that will say. Do you feel like you're going to lose your independence somewhat for the fact that you've joined partisan politics?
I definitely will not, and that is why my opinion is, as we go into politics, some of us who are professionals, we're trying to bring change. And what I mean by change is we're trying to see where whatever your party affiliation is, your patriotism should override the loyalty to the party. Now, you will be loyal. Every party derives its power from the Constitution. And every party seeks to have the overriding interest of the nation over the party in some ways. What do I mean by that? The fact that I'm going into politics and I'm running for office does not mean if something is wrong in my party, I will not call out. The only difference is that now I would have to apply the first principle, which is, since I have the privilege of being inside, to make sure that internally I voice, I air my voice.
But you do know that there will be constraints in terms of speaking your mind. There will be issues that you might be reluctant to speak on as a result of the fact that you are now in partisan politics. For instance, it might affect your party members. I mean, it might affect the powers that be within your party, and you might be seen as a rebel of some sort.
Now, I want you to hold this, and then you can judge me by this as we go on. I would rather back out of politics than to look at realities and fail the Nigerian people. I would always speak for the truth. And I can tell you this, if you know the pulse and the mind of the president, he is somebody who does not tolerate some of these things that we see in the party that we complain about or people talk about. And so when you know that the number one citizen, his primary heart, his overriding thought is the interest of the nation, if something goes wrong, you won't be afraid to say it because the number one citizen thinks along the line of what you're talking about. Secondly, the leadership of the party, for example, the national chairman that has come on board, if you see some of the reforms he's bringing to the party, ordinarily, if he's the coward type, he cannot dare to talk about direct primaries, because direct primaries is like you're bringing the battle to the governors who are principally seen as the financiers of the party and call all the shots. But how can we talk about fighting corruption, for example, without looking at how we can do that institutionally? If you introduce direct primaries, half of the corruption problem in political parties will have been taken out.
You're taking my conversation to where we're yet to get to.
Right.
I mean, you're already entering direct and indirect primaries.
Right.
But then, right now, it seems you have had some baptism of some sort. Mm-hmm. You initially wanted to run for a senatorial seat in Borno State, but now you seem to be running in the Federal Capital Territory on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. Right. What's the reason?
Now, anybody who knows me and may have heard me over time knows that fundamentally I'm APC in terms of ideology and in terms of strong position on national issues, especially on policy matters. And for the past 3 years of this administration, those who know me, who have heard me speak on a number of occasions, know that I support APC. Now, when I decided to go and run for office, the primary constituency, of course, will be your people, because if you are going to be a witness, you must start first in your hometown, right? But I decided to seek to run on a different platform because the incumbent is not just from the party, but he's somebody I consider as one who is very close to the leadership of the party, and I never wanted to rock the boat.
Who's that?
Borno State, Southern Borno.
Senator Ali Ndume?
Do your investigative journalism.
No, I'm just asking you, Senator Ali Ndume. You didn't want to run against Senator Ali Ndume?
No, not because of him. I'm not looking at him. Because as a matter of fact, my people asked me to come and run because they evidently feel that nothing is happening in Southern Borno. I can tell you that for free. I have been there a couple of times. I'm not the Abuja-based type politician. I have been to the grassroots. And you cannot see development. The voices of our people are not heard. The entirety of this insurgency you're talking about, the Chibok girls, all is in that zone of the state. And there is no road, there's poor healthcare facilities, and their voices are not heard, there's no education. If you see maternal health or maternal problems, just there.
So you wanted to run on the platform of the APC, of the SDP initially, but then you are now running on the platform of the APC.
So I started by running on the platform of SDP.
Yes.
I started a grassroots movement and everything going. And in fact, the movement is quite overwhelming. But then SDP started talking about coalition of united parties. And some of these people talking about coalition are people I fundamentally disagree with in terms of policy or even in issues related to corruption. And so I first thought to myself, if I stay in this party, that means very shortly I'm going to have to come under a situation of pressure where I will have to market the people I fundamentally disagree with. And so on principle basis, I felt there was a problem. Secondly, how do you then reconcile where your heart is with the party you have always known and advocated their policy, and now you're going to seek to run under a different political party, and your voice is now going to be heard? So it is on the basis of that.
Shouldn't you have thought about that before you came out to say you're running on the platform of the SDP?
Of course I did, but you know, in politics you can turn right and trafficate. You can trafficate right and turn left.
Is that what you did?
In politics, you can trafficate right and turn left.
How are you then to be trusted? I'm just thinking when you when you use that example and you say, "Oh, I will still be very objective if you know if national interest overrides what it is I'm saying, I would definitely go with national interest, blah blah blah." Yet you're saying in politics we can trafficate right and turn left.
And I will explain. Nothing is in conflict except if you contextualize it in a negative form. In politics, it's all about the people. When you come into politics, you are moving in the direction of your people. There are two things. One, your ideals. Two is the wishes of your people, right? If your ideals rhymes with your people, you move in the same direction. Now, if your ideals are straight and the wishes of your people are different, then definitely you're going to, even though you trafficate right, you're going to turn left. And you can never find that from when you start until you engage with the people. That's the point I'm saying. That's number one.
In your mind, I mean, you wanted to really support and be the voice of the people of Borno State. But somehow you were not happy with the party you had joined and you were not happy with talks of a coalition. So why didn't you change parties then and then still see how you could push, still speaking for the people of Borno?
Excellent. Everything going for the people in Borno and especially Southern Borno, in terms of whether you talk about benefit or the driving out of the insurgents, the degradation, how do I put it? What's the best word to use? The extent to which we recorded large degree of success in terms of the fight against the insurgency is done by this administration. My people were displaced under the administration of a party that they are seeking to do coalition. Do you get my point now? So you trafficate right because you are seeking a platform, a more realistic approach to bring change to your people. As you engage, development now starts happening in the party you're running, that you find that the ideals are inconsistent with your ideals. You engage your people in a conversation, and your people are not comfortable. You have trafficated right. But as you engage and you are seeing development that are inconsistent, you will be required to turn left for the purposes of the overall good of your people.